never ever forget. We will never, never ever forget. We will never, never ever forget. Oh, 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 oh. We roll, oh, 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 oh. And oh, 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 oh. Yeah, we roll. We roll. Yeah, we rolled. We rolled. Yeah, we rolled. We rolled. A critical hit to the heart.
Dinner and a Game and Many Worlds Taverns have partnered together to bring incredible teas and coffees to the Dagger family. And now you can get 10% off of your orders when you use the promotional code Dinner and a Game, all one word, no spaces, at checkout. And if you use our link, manyworldstaverns.com/dinner and a game, we get a little bit back from Many Worlds Taverns as well. Support excellent products from an incredible small business and help support Dinner and a Game at the same time. And always remember, at Dinner and a Game, we always save you a seat at the table.
When I sit across the table from you, once a week, a month, or like every 6 months, depending on people's schedules. So the clickety-clack of dice in our crew keep me warm inside before we smack down an evil cold just to gain a level. And oh, 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 oh. We roll, oh, 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 oh. And oh, 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 oh. We roll, we rolled. A critical hit to the heart. People grow up, forget how to play, but not us, no. We laugh due to a dad joke or innuendo. Probably it's how every adventure that we create is our own cinematic universe, and it ties us together, and we will never forget. Oh, 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 oh. We roll, oh, 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 oh. Yeah, oh, 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 oh. Yeah, we roll. We rolled. A critical hit to the heart. We will never, never, ever forget. 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 Oh, 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 oh.
Hello, everyone, and welcome for Dinner and a Game, where we always save a seat for you at the table. My name is Wrenound, and welcome back for another Wrenound one-shot. We will be playing Holomatics today, which is amazing product by my good friends over at Nerdy City. I thank you. Wait, I don't think that is literally not the right command. I swear, I'm a professional. I can do this. Distraction. Hey, folks, why don't we go around a circle and do a brief introduction for ourselves, starting with the person who's been here. We'll go with seniority. So the person who's been in the most of our one-shots, the least. That means Dice. You go first.
Hi, everyone. I am Dice Goblin Black Cat. Tonight, I will be playing Sarah Walsh. I have been in most of Ren's productions here on Dinner and a Game, but also appear in our Every Other Friday campaign, Cyberpunk Red. And I also have my own socials that are likely going to be in the chat at some point. But I make dice at fateandfortunedice.com. And yeah, if you're looking for anything clickety-clackety or squishy, we got stuff.
Explain to me how a dice is squishy.
I'll send you a video.
Oh, God.
Thank you so much, Dice. We appreciate it. I think the next one, is it a tie?
Nope, Brittany.
Ah.
Really? I think Kelsey.
Mm-mm.
I think it.
Because you did one before me.
I've done two.
Hi, I'm Kelsey.
Who am I?
Who are we, any of us? This is my second time here at Ren's dinner table, such as it was, and I will be playing Huey Milano, and he is the brain of this operation, unlike me.
No, you are perfect and wonderful just the way you are. Brittany, you are up.
I'm Brittany. I've also done two games with Dinner and a Game. So Kelsey and I are actually tied. I am playing Heather West, the nasty, mean pop star of our group.
Excellent. And last but not least, for their first game here, give it up for Mara.
Hello! Hi, I'm Mara. My pronouns are they, she. I'm going to be playing the Thembo with a Heart of Gold, Hit McLean, they, them pronouns. And yeah, I'm super excited to be joining the table.
Thank you so much. 1 second. Just pinging somebody about the overlay issue so we can get that taken care of. But thank you all for being here. To talk a little bit before we get too deep into things, there's something that's very important that you should know. And that is that if you like the content that you're seeing tonight, you can actually help bring this project to life. Holomatics is actually currently being kickstarted. And we are so close. They are under $700 to their 10K goal. So if you like over-the-top action, bands, music, and having a fantastic time with your friends, I mean, honestly, anything Nerdy City put together is great. This is another awesome system by them. So if this is something that speaks to you while you're watching, please do yourself a favor and join that Kickstarter. I guess a brief explanation of who I am. It's also, hi, my name is Wrenound, they, them, aka Ren, and I am here every week. I've been here the whole time, I suppose you could say. I am a queer, Latino, non-binary game designer of the TTT RPG, every sort, and mostly out of sorts, I would also say. So thank you all for joining us, and I think with that, we can go ahead and we'll get started. And this game is going to start where most things do when you're in a band. You're in the van. So our group is currently in their travel van. It is a long ways away from where you have to be. A town of originally 1,000 people has dwindled down to 5 brave souls who live there. Fires burning under the city in what's the word? Wow, I'm having trouble already today. Fires burning deep within what were once coal mines have finally extinguished, leaving a town that is now abandoned able to bounce back. A letter to these fine folks, as well as a number of other bands, got people together to begin planning on something that would bring it back to life. 6 months later, we are finally coming together. Careful planning on how to get all the equipment into place. The stage was built, and now the bands are on their way to meet the people there and start what's going to be an amazing, explosive beginning for this new town. Carnival. The tagline of which is "Light Up the Night." An hour from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, heading deeper into the hazy fog that still hangs there. Even though the root cause of it had been scientifically proven to be ended, the fog still is lingering around the van. Who is driving?
Oh, Huey, 100%. He doesn't trust any of them. No.
So Huey, you're at the wheel. So why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself, how you look while you're driving the van, and what music you have playing as you're on your way to the show.
Yeah, so Huey, as I mentioned, is the brains of the operation. He was the AV club president when he was in high school, and he's very proud of that. When he drives, he knows the importance of road safety, so he's going to sit straighter than I will ever be and just keep himself locked on the wheel. He is focused, but that doesn't mean he's not jamming out to his favorite techno dream star. Let's call her Beverly Love. Yeah, that sounds pretty like 80s.
Beverly Love. No, that's
Beverly
it.
Love, yeah.
Nailed it. Yeah, so Beverly Love is just, you can feel the van kind of like reverberate a little bit.
It's important that he always signals when he turns. Maybe a little too early. And he does like, the car stops at stop signs. We are not moving.
And that becomes more and more important as you start getting outside of like the normal roads and into what has been abandoned territory for quite some time. You actually turn onto this main route and you notice that the entire road is covered edge to edge in graffiti. It is just a boulevard on both sides of just cracked street and just never ending graffiti. As you make your way in, you end up like hitting a big pothole. And who would be the most likely to complain about getting jostled in the van?
We know it's me.
So would
Heather
you
is
please introduce
in the
yourself?
back. She's doing probably just like her lipstick, like a fidget almost, where you're just like doing it and then wiping it off and then doing it again and trying to get it right. And so we hit a pothole and it just straight up her face and she is pissed.
Excellent. You're headed down, and so where are you sitting in the van? Who's riding? Is anyone riding shotgun?
I think Heather's in like the back, like sprawled out across the back bench seat.
I wanted to ride shotgun, but as self-appointed Captain Snacks, there was not enough room for the snack bag in the front, so I am in the middle row.
Excellent.
I'm probably riding shotgun just because Sarah is not in any way, shape, or form complying to the rules of the road. And it's just the perfect dichotomy of having the straight-laced one and the absolutely not one up front.
So why don't you describe how are you just flagrantly ignoring all reasonable traffic laws right now?
Sarah has her seatbelt buckled, and it's around the waist is taken, like the bottom is taken care of, but like that top, it's so restrictive and just like it's not her vibe, and she's got like a leg terribly. Kids don't do this. Like a foot just up on the dash, pressed against it, and the other is like just kind of tucked at a weird angle, and she's like taking down notes on a riff she's planning on later and some lyrics she's been writing, and interchanging that between just like picking at her nails because of the constant stops. So she's like trying to keep an eye on when we're gonna stop so that her notes don't like jerk and get like messy as hell because she's used to this shit.
As you're writing and you're working through that, so in the center seat, flanked by all of these snacks, Mara, would you mind introducing your character to everyone?
So, if not for the flanking of the snacks, you would also be able to notice Kit from the constant foot tapping along with the music, because Kit cannot sit still. Just all 6'2" of Kit is sprawled in the center seat, just tapping along with Beverly Love and trying to not watch Sarah put her foot on the dash. And when we hit the pothole and Heather has the lipstick incident, you just see Kit's hand reach behind with just a mitt full of various fast food napkins. Just trying to help. Just trying. But the other hand has a chocolate bar, so like she's snacking at the same time.
They're so rough.
I've got a water bottle. That help?
Yeah, okay, we'll make it work. And she just starts like scrubbing, and it's doing that thing where it just starts to smear.
You folks are making your way down, and you can see kind of in the distance the start of the carnival. You see like a giant Ferris wheel and all these sorts of things are being put together, just out breaking through the fog. But that's not where you're headed first. First, you're actually headed to, this family of 5 who has lived here, who reached out to you, owns a local hotel just off the highway called the Central Point. Sort of like a play on words, this being Centralis, Pennsylvania. This is the home for the only 5 people who live here. Not that they're staying at the hotel, but they live together. And so obviously the concert promoters were like, no, you have to meet them first. Absolutely. They'll be so excited. You have to go meet them first. And so as you start to kind of
Sorry, I just need to repeat back what you just said. We were invited to a town with a population of 5. Yes. And those 5 are one nuclear family.
That's not what I said.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because that sounded very strange to me. Okay, good.
They are a family, but as with most families, I feel these days, they aren't necessarily a nuclear family.
Ren about to say something so queer. Most families aren't related, right?
Yeah, right? That's just the way that is.
People don't like talk to their birth families.
I threw them out with the gender. So as you pull in, it is actually while it is still really hazy here, it's about it's probably, you flew in, you've been driving quite a ways now, so it is like leaning into the middle of the day, close to the afternoon. The main hotel, it looks more like a motel. It's got a long motel structure with a lot of different doors, and a sign that says the center point with it, what looks like a target with an arrow pointing right to the middle. You see some, like, a couple of people like going out with carts. They're clearly like cleaning, and as you folks are driving by, they kind of like stop and they point and they abandon what they're doing. And behind it, it's a pretty nice house. You know, got a dirt road. It has a fence. There's a dog in the yard who is very excited to see you all. And coming
We're all
off,
so excited to see him.
coming off the porch, you see like a 6'3" masculine presenting person who's wearing like a long flowing skirt, and you know, a what looks like a button up that's kind of opened up in the middle, who's like clearly they were like doing something with their hands inside, and so they're like wiping off their hands and they kind of wave as you come down. So when you park, they just kind of like people start to kind of join on the porch. So this person, they seem to be like probably like mid-30s, and then another person about the same age. It's a woman, 5'11", dark skin and when she sees the van, she has this smile that is just bright and glittering. And as you folks like open the door, she immediately calls out, "Come on in, we got food for you." And the two of them kind of file inside.
I gotta pet that dog.
You gotta pet the dog.
Like, as you are walking to the front porch, there's like a walkway between the fence. The dog's just like a really big, like Great Dane, 2 paws up on the fence, head over, just absolutely loving it.
Are you saluting the dog?
I'm not. I am. Huey's not. I am.
Okay.
We support hardworking Americans in this.
Yes.
But absolutely loves on you, and you see that the tag actually says Clash on it, and like you notice now that like they're out of the field, they've made this dog like a denim vest with like patches on it and stuff.
Okay. It's about to ask if Huey vetted these people, but that's enough for me.
Yeah, we're good.
When you head inside,
Huey didn't vet them. He vetted the fact that we need to eat, and this is paid.
when you come inside, it is like big farmhouse vibes. You walk into like there's a very big, very long table, and you start like they've set it up for you folks and for 5 other people, and there's still seats at this table. But it's not like, it's very clearly like a table that like they had a table and then they built onto the table. The chairs don't exactly match. The silverware is all just like random assortments of not quite matching silverware. And the taller masculine presenting person, walks over, and they have a tag on that you can clearly tell that, like, you can actually see as you were coming in, they were like kind of affixing it just as they, them. Like, Quill, nice to meet you, and offers you handshakes as you come in.
Nice to meet you. It's so cute in here.
Thank you. We try. Please have a seat. I know it's probably not your usual fare, but, we have some fresh stuff. And they pull out like a whole roast chicken and like a bunch of like homemade vegetable, like a really nice salad. Then also like roasted Brussels sprouts, roasted with bacon, and like all sorts of just like really delicious, very homey foods. And just starts, that is when the woman just starts piling this stuff on the plates. Does not ask you what you want or how much. just piles them out. And she's like, and I'm Rosemary. It's nice to meet you. How was your trip?
I mean, it was kind of back and forth with all the stops.
Huey's
I
just
bet.
eating. He is in the food.
Kit's gonna make a
Huey
show.
is
Oh,
A
sorry.
driver. No, go.
Kit's making a show of like a very firm, polite handshake, and like just like appreciation and trying to not like trip over their own feet. They're just all that time in the car. They're just feeling a little discombobulated, but there's food, so.
And they bring out like drinks like fresh made lemonade. There's also some tea. So there's a couple of options. And as they're setting you up, a couple of like they're a little bit younger. They're like probably in their like mid-20s. Walk in. One of them's like dark skin, hairs in braids. And like so you get like they look a little bit like grungy and a little bit dirtier, but it's definitely like a farmhouse kind of like crust punk-esque way. And like the moment he goes in, like the person walking in who's like a little bit shorter with sandy blonde hair, like grabs Oliver by like the back of the shirt and goes, no. You need to wash up first. And like there's this moment of like annoyance, and then I was like, oh, come on, really? And Trent's like, you know that you have to. Do I even need to? And that's when Oliver silences him with a kiss and then goes off to wash his hands. Then as like they're doing that, like a younger, maybe like a teenager kind of like comes down from upstairs and just snags a plate. It's like, yeah, thanks, and just is gone. Just immediately leaves. And Quill's just like, you're welcome. Okay. And they all start sitting down and everyone just starts digging in. It's like, so like we didn't really when Trent wrote that letter, we didn't think anyone was going to show up, and Trent's like, I knew someone was going to show up. It's like, yeah, we know you knew someone was going to show up, but we didn't think anyone was actually going to be here. So thanks for the help.
Well, you know, we love to be accommodating and helpful. What was the backup plan if we didn't show up?
Quill like kind of looks down the line and no one else looks up. Quill just goes, I don't know that there was one.
Well, it's good we could make it then.
Absolutely.
This food's really good. Do you have more? And he's like swallowing. Like, I mean, Ren, didn't you say these guys are like 19, 20? This boy has a metabolism, and this food is good.
No, like you're there, and Oliver is sitting across from you, and Oliver is also like all splayed out, just all elbows and arms, just shoveling food. I know, right?
We're having moments where like we don't realize that like our elbows are crossing and like eating off each other's plates. It's honestly a little tender.
Romantic.
Like
Horrifying.
and Trent is laughing at all this. In like at one point, Quill just kind of like reaches over with a ladle and like catches one of Oliver's elbows and just gently pulls it towards the middle of the table. Like, we have guests, you know that, right? Like,
We're somebody's guests. You know that, right?
I'm watching this impressed, to be honest. trying very hard to be polite, but also just very impressed.
Sarah's just eating. There's food.
So what are y'all gonna do about the stage, though?
After Hugh swallows, he's like, well, if you could give me the exact dimensions and the schematics, I also will probably need to understand the necessities of what the sound equipment are, what the electrical plugins are, if you have any of the necessities for the lights, and also if you have, like, you need this if you want that spotlight on you.
Carry on.
So, at that challenge, Quill leans forward and, like, starts, like, pulls out a napkin and a pen and starts drawing out all the stuff and, like, showing like all the details and all that stuff. And then they go, but didn't you folks hear?
What's going on?
The stage was trashed like a couple of nights in a row, and hands the note over to you with all the details.
Like, how trashed? Because, like, we can make that work.
Like,
Good point. Is it like cool?
no. Unusable trashed. Not like Oliver was like, I mean, it would be really cool if it was all messed up and like the front of the speakers were ripped, but they still work. But no, someone trashed the place.
Oh, damn.
I mean, do you have some like hay bales or some pallets or something? I can throw them around and we can make a stage.
I mean, we can bring some by in before in the morning.
I mean, spray paint's cheap too. Like, if we want to tailor this shit.
But yeah, y'all. I mean, you like the people who were like setting up the carnival and stuff have been working on it. So like, definitely chat with them. And then Quill just looks back over and goes, "But seriously, keep these notes. They didn't seem to know exactly what they were doing out there."
Huey like gives him a nod of understanding, and like, I'm not sure if it's OTP, but I feel like some bro TP is forming. Like, I feel like these two are forming a good friend bond.
They see each other for sure,
right?
Huey's a genius with that stuff. It'll be fine.
All right. Well, we don't want to keep y'all too long, but feel free to eat and get settled in. And Oliver was like, "Oh, we could just hang out." And Trent like craps him on the foot with this. But like, we have rooms to clean. We haven't had guests in months. There are people coming here for the show. They're gonna need a place to stay. Oh shit! And like, they get up and they clear their plates and they go. And as they're running out the door, Cole's like, "They left the cleaning supplies under the sink." And Quill gets up and grabs all the cleaning supplies and puts them in the basket, and goes and follows them. And as dinner kind of like subsides and it's just you folks kind of like clearing plates and getting ready to leave, Rosemary kind of walks over and goes, things were really scary for a while there. And like Oliver and Trent just kind of showed up. They've been dating for who knows how long, and they got kicked out, and so they've just been helping out and staying here. And we didn't know what we were gonna do, so it really means a lot.
We're happy to provide.
Happy to help.
For sure.
All right, now you kids go rock on or whatever you do. We'll see you at the show.
Huey tries like to do this thing, but like it's like it's just like, yeah, for sure.
Heather immediately grabs Huey as they head out and is like, "If you have a crush on someone, you have to tell me, right?" It's like, you have to tell me immediately.
He's like, "I thought I told you about
me.
Beverly."
No. A new one.
Why? How can there be a new one? I'm gonna marry Beverly Love one day.
We'll work on it. Okay.
Heather, I think you're just reading way too much into things right now.
We'll see.
I mean, you may have some intuition on this that even Huey doesn't get, but like, I don't think Huey necessarily is aware of anything.
Well, yeah.
He's, like, reading the
Huey would be-
napkin and like just like walking away, being like, if we change these things, he is gone.
My
Huey's
point.
gonna be the last to know, huh?
Like normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we'll workshop it.
Yeah.
As you folks walk out, you notice that there is a napkin under the windshield of the van. And just says Quill, and it's Quill's number on it. It says, in case you need anything with the stage.
Oh, Heather, you're reading too much into things.
I meant on Huey's
Heather,
part.
you're
Like,
reading a lot.
no, like, listen, even on Huey's part, you asked if Huey had a crush, and Huey isn't even here right now. Like,
Where did Huey go? We lost him so fast.
He's probably trying to like visualize the stage for tomorrow and do all the math. So much math.
Huey, as you walk out, you see you were helping like clean one last dish. You walk out, and you see that Heather has like a napkin and is like waving it, and everyone seems to be arguing lively about it until you walk up, and then they all look at you.
I think this is for you.
First of all, it's important that everyone knows that in case you didn't know, Starbucks will send you caffeine at 9:00 at night. It's important to me that everyone knows that. Okay, but anyway,
details.
Huey's like, oh, did I drop a schematic? And like grabs the napkin.
It says,
No, it's from Quill.
It says, in case you need anything with the stage, a phone number, and it says Quill on the bottom.
It could also just be for all of us, you know? Because
No, this is great because he said the other people were a little unhelpful. This will be good because we can like text him pictures and then he just puts it in his pocket, shoves it right in with everything else, and just keeps on walking.
Yep.
Go talk about your interests.
So
But there's time.
you folks
We'll
get
workshop it.
in the van and you start heading to the show, and like the Ferris wheels and things seem to be fine as you're coming in, but then you come up to the stage and like you see that the people are trying to like, there are like bent metal support posts under the stage they're trying to straighten out and re-support. Like there was clearly something like it's a large stage with like the light supporting rigs. The rigs were clearly torn completely down. And like there is like the like protective like the guardrails and stuff like that are just thrown everywhere, and they're still trying to clean up this mess, and they've probably been at it all morning. And you see like with a clipboard, this is not just a promoter at this show, but someone that like you've worked at, not necessarily your manager because you don't necessarily have a manager, but like someone who's got you hooked up with a bunch of gigs before. Kimberly Swain is standing out there barking orders and telling people like, what the hell are you doing? No. Does that look like it's stable to you? Do you think someone jumping up and down right there is going to not have them fall through and die? Please think about it for a second. And then, you know, as you folks are getting out of the van, she turns and she just lets out a huge sigh of relief. It's like, holy shit, it's a mess, but you're here. It's a good start.
Huey can't talk to girls.
This is true. This is why Huey talks to me.
Yeah. That's how they found out, because Huey was like, "Oh, why can I talk to you?" And surprise,
A new gender has been unlocked.
Yeah. We made it. Yeah, had great dinner last night, and now we're here. Let's. Yeah.
Yeah, we can't. Yeah, we can't really do anything right now. Like, this place is trashed. we could probably use your help getting things fixed. The other bands are they're on their way. I think everyone's going to be here tomorrow, and we'll probably get this stuff cleaned up by tomorrow. We're trying to gently stall things because they've trashed the stage 3 nights in a row, and we do not know what the hell is going on.
Do we need to
All right.
stall through entertaining, or do we need to stall through other means?
But we're building up the hype, kind of like through the radio and the local town and stuff like that, and like we're having the other bands like play some smaller shows at some smaller venues in the area, so that when they get here, they can bring all those people here. Just the idea is that like to buy us a night, right? But like
No, I meant in truly the least judgmental way possible. Aren't there like 10 people in this town?
in the town.
How do we not know what happened?
We don't know. Like we it's not exactly like there is like a security force out here yet, because they aren't here yet to help keep an eye on the stage. It's not like there are police anywhere, thankfully.
Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
But like they might have actually tried to do something useful for once. Not that it would have helped. But like if y'all can like just help out where you can while we try to figure this out, that would be great.
Wait, Ren. Because my character is from House Riviera, don't I like have like little electronic doodads and trinkets and things?
You do have things. Do you remember what they are? Should we go over them?
I remember the link to the document.
Okay. So for House Riviera, you have yes, you have Passion Project. They always have some type of project, usually some new gadget or gizmo they're working on, and have a hard time tearing themselves away from it. This project driven nature leads them to tap into the flip side and learn everything they need to slip into any conventional profession for one scene.
Is an investigator a conventional profession?
I mean, I think it's one of the oldest professions.
Great. I will try to slip into the second oldest profession because he's bad at the first oldest profession.
Because he can't talk to girls.
Because he can't talk to girls.
Yeah. So there's not even a check required. You can just do this.
Perfect.
You just do this.
He carries a backpack with him at all times, right? Because you got to have your supplies. You never know.
Yeah.
He reaches into his backpack and he just like instantly pulls out a bubble pipe. And he's like, I can do this. Shout out to my coworkers who used to have desk whiskey and bubble pipe Thursdays. That made me remember that those existed. So Huey starts investigating to try to see if we can search for clues.
Okay. So Huey is going to do that. What are other people going to do to help with this stage situation?
Do you need some heavy stuff lifted? Otherwise, I can like dance and entertain the kids.
She nods and she's like, yeah. You know, we basically need like, there's a lot of those like heavy girders are all twisted and stuff that are kind of like just laying down. If you can like just lay them out separately, that would be great.
Sure. The fact that I'm a gymnastic athlete, would that help with this?
It would. We're gonna do all the checks together.
Okay.
So because we're actually going to do this as one of my, so this is legitimately and entirely one of my favorite mechanics in Remember X. We're gonna do a montage.
Can
So-
I?
Yes,
Oh, sorry.
yes.
Sorry. Go ahead.
So, no,
No, that's
please.
all.
No, you continue, and then I'll explain how the montage works mechanically
Yay.
speaking.
I was gonna say, can I pair up with Huey because I can? My house quirk is that I can pick up on cues and I have a +1 to persuasion and distraction. And so as Huey is like investigating physical, can I be like talking to people, like trying to figure out what the situation is, kind of like in the community?
Yes, absolutely. You can talk to the 5 people who live here and like the 30 people who are working here. You can absolutely do that. Okay. So, Dice, what are you gonna try?
So I realized that I had written down something wrong, which was my house.
Oh.
Skills and such. I actually was trying to go with the Phantoma.
Oh.
As
yes.
opposed to I think I put Rockstra. But I'm going to go back to the van, and it says that I have this like familiar, effectively.
I will gladly read that out loud. So, folks, we are getting into every holomatic has a house that they are aligned with. It's like your like the musical like societal background you draw from, right? It's like an art collective where you meet other people that are into the same stuff as you, and you get certain powers. So yours is secret sidekick. Phantanoma holomatics are notoriously shy and tend to stress themselves out, burying themselves in wallflower busywork. They might prefer to fade into the background, but they aren't alone there. They have a flip side sprite, a small pseudo-anthropomorphic animal also called a glaumer. It's a little creature, is fiercely loyal, and usually takes the form of an animal friend like an alley cat, stray dog, or even something more exotic like a bird, raccoon, or spider. It appears as a normal creature on Earth, but can speak and use powers with the holomat when no one else is looking.
So, I
Rad.
thought that it might be pretty cool if I had like some kind of weasel or ferret that could help like run electrical lines and do all that. Like, you know, it's smart. It's like, here, take this, run, go into the stage, get it to where it needs to go. But I just kind of out of the bag that's perpetually with me, it comes this little black and white ferret that just kind of gets up on my shoulder, and this is Gerald. Yes,
I love him.
New Gerald.
I'm in favor
You
of
can
all
make a
Gerald.
contract with me and become a band member vibes. For those of you who know.
Yeah.
So I basically just kind of look at Gerald and go, looks like we got work to do. All right, man. We got to run some lines. If you see anything weird, like, let me know. And then I'm just gonna try and find somebody to be like, where do you want me moving stuff? Because, you know, like, I'm not trying to be the big bulky move the stuff, and I don't need to take charge of nothing.
All right. So the way that a montage works is, and I'll read kind of like the actual mechanics so that everyone, including the people at home, will like get an idea. So each player describes what the character is doing. Then I assign them with dice based on how helpful it would be. And then once they're done, they add up the final tally, allowing you to collaborate to take on really difficult operations. So your operations at this point are twofold. You folks are looking into what is causing this problem while also trying to help fix the stage. And so you have like a lot going on. I think, honestly, everyone is easily at 4 dice.
I think it's very funny that Huey being, like, for those of you who don't know, our abilities are, like, named after things, and my main ability is called She Blinded Me with Science. His whole thing is tech and, like, fixing things, and he's like, no, I'm going to go follow the footprints. Leave it to the ferret.
And so, like...
Ferret's got the technology handled.
So I would like
My bubble
everyone
pipe needs me. Sorry,
to
Ren.
roll 5 for everyone. Just roll 5d6 because I feel like this was a really solid answers to the montage. So and then you can add them up and throw them into the chat while I describe what's going on in this montage. So,
Ren, just sorry, the Twitch chat or our chat?
our chat. So as you folks are all, immediately jumping in to assist. Ashley is, walking around and kind of like talking to people backstage, just trying to get information. Is like people like trying to do work and like so like they're trying to lift heavy things and move them and do these things. And Heather is not following them, but also like just speaking louder as they walk away, which is forcing them to have to walk back to give you the information you're trying to find. Huey.
If anyone looks too hard at what Huey is doing, I'm like, I want to be in the way of that, kind of. Like, look over here. Don't look at that. Look over here.
And you're absolutely
Not that.
You're pulling that attention away. And
what you were doing.
And Huey is like just going through and like trying, like investigating and like looking at all like the breaks in things that seem a little weird, and reaches down and finds some like where like part of like one of the big light structures was done, was like broken off as Kit kind of throws it down. And you see Gerald just running around, running lights all through the things as Kit is putting them down. And Sarah is like helping to like just put things kind of in place where they need to go on them. And Gerald's running all the wiring and stuff. And as you're doing all of that, Huey walks up and sees where one of them's cut and reaches down and pulls her hand away. And there's a little glitter where the cuts were made. By the time it's done, people are like you're using these larger cranes to pull all the stuff back into place, and are able to get the stage back into more of a working situation, while also able to learn quite a bit by the time you all get together. So for those of you who are wondering, for those of you playing the whole game, they got a 79 combined on this check. So you folks are definitely able to tell that whatever is doing this is not just some assholes trying to stop a concert. There's definitely something more going on here. And given that you folks are finding hints of like glitter and like you're able to identify that like some of these were not bent, they were fucking melted. And like the people that are like working, they're staying like nearby, but not on site. And like they will leave. It doesn't matter when they leave at night. Sometime after they leave, when they come back, the whole place is trashed again. No one sees anything, no one hears anything, but like they did find like some beer bottles, and like it definitely looks like there was some like weird graffiti everywhere. Just like really, really weird stuff. Like there's like weird costume pieces they found. Like there's this like piece of like red and white fabric that was like caught on something, but it looked really old and weird. There was like a cane that was left behind, like a not like an actual walking device, but something like used for like twirling, or like part of a fucking stage show. It's really fucking weird, but like they don't know what to make of it.
Right.
With this information, I would like people can like at this point ask me additional questions, and based on like the scope of the roll you got, I will either just tell you or make you add something, like roll something now that you know what you know.
Okay.
do we all know everything, or do like I only know the investigation stuff and like Sarah only knows like the wire stuff?
I think at this point you all have come back together and put
Okay.
all this information together.
Okay.
Do we have like a do we know like regionally like who other performers kind of are in this area?
You do. There really aren't any. Like this all seems really strange. Like they even like they have the cane and they have the old fabric and stuff, and these are like fucking antiques. It should be in a museum. It should not be here.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Does Huey know what can melt steel beams?
Huey doesn't know what can melt steel memes.
Steel.
However, what I will say is that it's not so much the roll me a knowledge check. What knowledge check would Huey use to investigate this? Being, the master investigator now.
Probably then it wouldn't be she blinded me with science. It would be my secondary skill, Ultimate Brain, which I'm spelling out just because, this game, now on Kickstarter, super close. It's super fun. So because everyone has 3 skills, Ultimate Brain is the name of my secondary skill, which means I get to roll 6 dice for it. Yes?
Yes, that is exactly it. 66. That is how it works.
Well, is it your active or your passive?
It's my... Oh, I was doing so well.
You split your
die pools.
It's the difference between an active, like you're actively doing something, or like something you know.
Probably passive then.
Right, Ren? I'm not
Because it would
crazy
be like
on
just tapping into my knowledge of like
Yes,
what could cause
so
this to happen.
It would be passive. So you would split your secondary dice in half. Like in whatever you would like. So like you could have one be active and the rest be passive.
And
or
whatever
have it all be passive.
And whatever I decide, that's like what it is for the whole night.
That is what it is for the character, yes.
Okay. I think for him, I'm going to do 4 passive because he strikes me as more of a knowing things as opposed to solving problems in the moment. So I'm going to roll
Sounds
4
great.
of my 6.
Do
That's
that
how I
thing.
have my setup too, so I feel you.
18.
Okay.
Dang. Good roll.
So it being melted is secondary to you finding glitter.
Okay.
Because that is a holomatics thing.
So not like just craft herpes, but like glitter with a capital G.
Yeah, this is glitter with a capital G. Like this is like something that has had some sort of connection with the Rhapsody has gotten involved with this. And thank you, Raiders. Welcome. We'll actually do like a short thing while people kind of think about what questions they want to ask. Welcome, everyone, to Dinner and Game. My name is Ren, and we are running a Holomatics one-shot as part of their push to global domination. No. To finishing their Kickstarter. No. Global domination and finishing their Kickstarter. So please, Nerdy City is amazing, and absolutely check out what they're up to. I love this game. I love all their work. Please check it out. So what else we got, folks? What other questions? So we do understand that there is definitely something that is not normal going on here.
Okay. You said that, like, when it doesn't matter how long they're gone for, whenever people completely leave, that's when the trashing happens. Okay, so even if they were only gone for like 5 minutes.
Well, it's overnight. So like
Overnight,
even
okay.
if it's like, so it's like an hour, or like at one point they were like, no, we cannot be gone that long. But someone was on site and like getting really fucking tired, so they had to go get a cup of coffee. But they had to drive like a half hour to get a fucking cup of coffee out here. So they were gone for 1 hour, and they came back and the stage was fucking trashed. As a matter of fact, that's what happened last night.
Okay. That means whoever it is had to be close and efficient. As the criminal, would I have an idea of just like how many people might be needed to cause this type of devastation and destruction over the course of a single hour?
So based on the rolls you've already gotten, you know this information. So if they were normal people, it would take a lot more than an hour. But you know that if someone is using holomatic power, it wouldn't take you that long.
Valid. So we're pretty solidly confident that these are... Oh my god. I'm going to remember the terms, because they're not werewolves.
So at this point, kind of there's two things that it could potentially be. These could be holomatics that are doing this for some reason, or it could be shriekers.
I feel like it's going to be the shriekers, because this doesn't seem to be like the family's so quaint, and if they're not like, you know, the capitalist consumer bullshit we normally fight against. So like,
Plus, if you just take into account, Huey has reached into his backpack and pulled out a mini chalkboard. Like, doing the situations for, like, how, like, the amount of destruction in the amount of time, that's not something that a human could do, even with the aid of a holomatrix. Like, something bigger is doing this.
for sure.
He did not need the chalkboard to explain that. It's just like, it's like how she does her lipstick. Sorry, Brittany, I forgot your character's name. Like, he just writes equations, you know. Anyone see Bastion from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX? Yeah, there you go.
It's the same picture. It really is.
So, do you think we should camp out tonight and see if we can catch whoever's doing it before they wreck it again?
We should probably find a way to hide ourselves, though, so they think we left.
As you folks look around, so there are like some places to hide here, but you're also not that far from like, so there are like older buildings that are nearby that they've refurbished to a degree that they can actually have some substance. So like they're going to do like a pop-up Waffle House in like an old church steeple. They're going to do like a silent auction in the old town hall, which like it is like less than it's like a 2-minute walk from the stage to those places. So absolutely possible to lay in wait in those areas as need be.
Cool. So one thing we could do, if we can't find an adequate place for us to be able to like hide and watch, I could leave Gerald.
Gerald kind of
to me.
stands up on their hind legs. You folks are alone, and so it's just you on goes perfectly with a little salute.
Oh, I forgot that the thing can talk. I was like, are you going to strap a camera to it? Okay, I'm caught up.
No, I've got a weird 80s punk rock familiar. It's fine.
The mascot character, right. Okay, got it.
He gets his own little spiked collar. It's cool.
Oh.
And she's got a little paw and like.
Don't make Matra come out of my nose.
That would suck, actually. That would be fucking awful.
Chunky.
All right. So, what is the plan, gang? It sounds like there is some like Gerald might be a key like spy hiding out closer to the stage. Do you folks want to kind of like set up in the town, or do you want to set up here?
I think Huey would probably prefer to set up in the town. I'm just trying to think if there's anything technological I can leave with the rodent that like might be helpful, because it's not like he's gonna like spit a tracking device on them, so I don't think that's gonna be like that useful. And if he can already talk to us, I don't think a listening device is necessary. So
Gerald goes, "Oh, wait a minute," and runs off and runs back with a fucking flare gun.
Gerald,
like-
where did you get
Just
that?
like in its little pause, it was like, it's over by the stage. They're not gonna miss it.
Why?
Gerald, why is it
wasn't
rodent sized?
Oh no, it is a full size flare gun.
That gives me so many more questions. Gerald, where do you lift? Gerald, what is your 5x5?
Gerald's kind of a badass. Let's
Gerald,
Gerald
like-
has a strict diet plan.
I
He's
also
cutting.
love the fact that you know Gerald is they them.
If we set up in the town, like, and the Shriekers hit, are we gonna be fast enough to get here? I mean, I probably will, but like, that's just track and field. That's not.
From what you folks know of Shriekers, they're not one, like, if something's going to show up and fight them, they're not gonna just bail on that. So you like, if they realize that there's something there to fight, or something there to like cause trouble with, they're probably gonna stick around.
Okay. So yeah, let's stay as close as we can, maybe, but still being like in the town.
Is there a way we can just like wait in the van? Like kind of pull the van up close and like kind of keep it at a distance, or would that be too obvious?
What does our van look like? How matte black is this bitch?
What
That's
murals
like-
Painted like
on the
it's painted
side?
like the mystery machine.
Who would like to describe the van to us?
There has to be the Anarchy A somewhere on it. Like for me, it doesn't have to be big, but there has to be at least one.
It's an Anarchy air freshener. Just like hanging where fuzzy dice might be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why am I fuzzy?
All right, if no one wants to describe it, then
Well, like-
I will.
My worry
Right.
is that now we're all going to be like, oh yeah, it's super stealthy and you'd never see it at night. Like now we have too much meta information.
No.
I was assuming that it was like the shitty white van that every band has for their very first Warped Tour. And it's kind of a bummer to have to sleep in it, but like you could do it. It's like the cargo one with the bucket seats.
And there's a really shitty mural on the side, obviously.
I was about to say it can't be just white. Like we
All of
are
us-
far too.
It's been
Like,
spray painted.
What
Yeah, I was
if all
gonna
of
say,
us
we have
tried to
spray
paint our holomatrixes on it? Our holomatices? Holomatici?
Holomatic?
Meg, help us out here. What is the plural for
Our
for their
persona.
holomatrices?
Our
Also-
persona.
Decide right now.
Also,
think
if
it's
it's a murder of
holomatrix.
crows, it's a what of holomatics? Like, what is the
It's a mosh pit.
band.
the
it's
mosh
a
pit?
band.
Okay, okay.
So I think, yeah, like the van being here, they will probably notice the van here. Holomat is singular, holomatics is plural.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
I'm sure if Kit tried to paint anything related to their holomat, it's just like some really sick flames on the side, and that's it. That's Kit's like, you know what? That's the closest I get to art. We're good.
So it sounds like the main plan is because like if you're in the van, like at the stage, they're gonna notice. But if you're in the town in the van, they're probably not gonna.
Yeah, I feel like that would be like Huey's. That way he can like as soon if they start running, like he can, do a reasonably speed car chase with turn signals. Like he's ready for that.
Yeah, better to stay like in the van ready to go than like in something else and it's like get the keys.
All right. And with that, we have a plan. And so you folks lay in wait. And I gotta tell you, it's boring as fuck for a while. Because like you can't really keep the music on.
And Heather has painted her nails, unpainted them, repainted them. The van smells horrific. It's a bad time.
Additionally, like watching Heather do this, Sarah like takes a Sharpie and just does her own nails.
God, I've been in relationships like this.
It smells like nail polish remover, Sharpie, and Funyuns. It is fucking
Hell yes.
The van is a powerful experience to be sure. But then as you wait, a few things begin to happen.
Huey, did you take your shoes off? Huey, put your shoes on.
I can't make the air freshener stronger. This is
We are
all we
all-
fucking have.
Break. He's like, because him and Sarah are like going into the Funyun bag together. Like that's their pastime.
Mhm.
And so he's like, it's our break. What do you want me to do? I don't understand what the problem is. Like,
Huey, if we need to like jump out of the van, you really should have your shoes on because like there was
Converse takes
twisted
so
metal in
long
it.
to lace, dude.
Right, and like, I mean, I'm not taking off my boots, but like, that's only because it would take me a good 30 minutes to get it all the way back up. So
see,
like,
what you ladies don't realize, and Mara, is that I'm built different. Really is not built different.
In what? Elaborate. Elaborate on what that means.
Like Kid is like, please.
Sorry, Kit. I keep calling you Mara because I forgot your gay name. I'm so sorry. Huey, realizing what he's did, has looked at Kit, who is his lifelong best friend, and is like, help.
I mean, built different in that you can't talk to girls, or built different in that leave your shoes 3/4 of the way done up.
called out.
Brutal. Got him.
At that point, I would like everyone to roll me a perception check. For those of you who do not remember, that is your highest passive die pool. Whatever that may be.
Swapping 4 for me. Cool.
Honestly, that's actually better than most of my characters' passives.
You know what? I'm not complaining. That's 15.
I also rolled
21.
a 15.
15, 15, 21.
Because I'm tuned into the circuit, I get touch perception. What does that mean?
Where's that under?
The vibes. Because like by being like in the electro thing, I'm in tune to the circuit.
Or is that
Give
only when
me-
we're in hollow mat form?
Oh, that might be okay. In that case,
If anyone's wondering, we've never actually played this before.
11.
This is-
We're having a lovely time.
It's super fun. Supported on Kickstarter. I rolled an 11, which is not great.
So, for the record, because I want to answer your question. Interesting. So the way that I read kind of like touch perception is that like you know how snakes, when they touch the ground, they can feel the vibrations and they can like sense things in other ways that is just hearing.
They
That is-
can?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
so cool.
when I hear touch perception, that is what I get.
That makes so much sense. And I've learned about snakes. This is a great night.
Did you know that? Never mind.
No,
I'll
no.
tell you snake facts later.
Perfect.
Okay. So, it was an 11. So at an 11, you were being fucking roasted and completely miss it.
Yes.
At a 15, you folks notice that some of these buildings have electrical there are like lights coming on in some of the buildings that were not on before. And we're nearing midnight at this point. For people who rolled over a 20, you see movement by the stage. And on that note, we're going to take our first break of the evening.
Oh my god.
Join Patreon and you can hear my snake facts.
Yes. So
During the break.
We have if you join the Dinner and a Game Patreon, there was like a secret chat that you folks can see that we communicate in throughout game. And additionally, you can see our warm up and our after game kind of like hangout. So follow us on Patreon, check us out there. And the more that you support Dinner and a Game, the more cool and amazing content we can provide for you folks. So please, if you like what you're seeing here, do that thing. Additionally, if this stuff sounds cool and you might want to do this, check out the Kickstarter or everything else that is going on over at Nerdy City, because they make some really cool shit. We take a 10-minute break at this point. So please take care of yourself. Get up, get some water, stretch. If you take medications and have not taken medications, take your medications. We will see you all in 10,
Dinner and a Game and Many Worlds Taverns have partnered together to bring incredible teas and coffees to the Dagger family. And now you can get 10% off of your orders when you use the promotional code Dinner and a Game, all one word, no spaces, at checkout. And if you use our link, manyworldstaverns.com/dinner and a game, we get a little bit back from Many Worlds Taverns as well. Support excellent products from an incredible small business and help support Dinner and a Game at the same time. And always remember, at Dinner and a Game, we always save you a seat at the table.
When I sit across the table from you, once a week, a month, or like every 6 months, depending on people's schedules. So the clickety-clack of dice in our crew keep me warm inside before we smack down an evil cold just to gain a level. And we roll. And we rolled a critical hit to the heart. People grow up, forget how to play, but not us, no. We laugh due to a dad joke or innuendo. Probably it's how every adventure that we create is our own cinematic universe, and it ties us together, and we will never forget. We roll. Yeah. Yeah, we roll. We rolled a critical hit to the heart. We will never, never, ever forget. 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 We roll. And yeah, we roll. We roll. Yeah, we rolled. We rolled. Yeah, we rolled. We rolled a critical hit to the heart.
Dinner and a Game and Many Worlds Taverns have partnered together to bring incredible teas and coffees to the Dagger family. And now you can get 10% off of your orders when you use the promotional code Dinner and a Game, all one word, no spaces, at checkout. And if you use our link, manyworldstaverns.com/dinner and a game, we get a little bit back from Many Worlds Taverns as well. Support excellent products from an incredible small business and help support Dinner and a Game at the same time. And always remember, at Dinner and a Game, we always save you a seat at the table.
When I sit across the table from you, once a week, a month, or like every 6 months, depending on people's schedules. So the clickety-clack of dice in our crew keep me warm inside before we smack down an evil cold just to gain a level. And we roll. And we roll. We rolled a critical hit to the heart. People grow up, forget how to play, but not us, no. We laugh due to a dad joke or innuendo. Probably it's how every adventure that we create is our own cinematic universe, and it ties us together, and we will never forget. We roll. forget. We will never, never, ever forget. We will never, never, ever forget. Oh, 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 oh. We roll, oh, 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 oh. And oh, 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 oh. Yeah, we roll. We roll. Yeah, we rolled. We rolled. Yeah, we rolled. We rolled. A critical hit to the heart.
Dinner and a Game and Many Worlds Taverns have partnered together to bring incredible teas and coffees to the Dagger family. And now you can get 10% off of your orders when you use the promotional code Dinner and a Game, all one word, no spaces, at checkout. And if you use our link, manyworldstaverns.com/dinner and a game, we get a little bit back from Many Worlds Taverns as well. Support excellent products from an incredible small business and help support Dinner and a Game at the same time. And always remember, at Dinner and a Game, we always save you a seat at the table.
When I sit across the table from you, once a week, a month, or like every 6 months, depending on people's schedules. So the clickety-clack of dice in our crew keep me warm inside before we smack down an evil cold just to get a level. And oh, 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 oh. We roll, oh, 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 oh. And oh, 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 oh. We roll, we rolled. A critical hit to the heart. People grow up, forget how to play, but not us, no. We laugh due to a dad joke or innuendo. Probably it's how every adventure that we create is our own cinematic universe, and it ties us together, and we will never forget. Oh, 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 oh. We roll, oh, 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 oh. Yeah, oh, 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 oh. Yeah, we roll.
Titty sprinkles.
And we're back! Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Dinner and a Game. We are playing some more Hollow Max. My name is Wrenound, and shit's about to go down. For those of you who
I switched to my mimosa sweatshirt because the sequin dress got uncomfy.
we stand comfort in this chat. We do.
Yeah.
We do. Folks, if you're in Twitch chat, please, tell us your favorite thing about snakes, and also support Holomatics. And
The snake fact is that they have 2 genitals. That was the snake fact. You're welcome.
This is an
One on each
18
side.
plus community. You can say that they have.
Oh, they've got 2 dicks, one on each side. They're called
Like I
heavy
said.
penis.
Worse for knowing that. Worse.
Or better. Or better.
No, I was better for learning about the vibrating thing. Brittany's thing made me worse. So we're just about even now. We're
Fitty,
where
fitty.
we started. Yeah.
we're working on it.
I'll tell you horrifying bed bug facts later. Join our Patreon.
Or if you join our Patreon, you can say you don't want that to happen, and I will make sure that doesn't happen. Not that Brittany won't show up anymore, just that won't happen.
Just that my biology degree won't come into play.
By joining the Patreon, you can't stop Brittany.
That's true. That's true.
If you donate enough to the Patreon, I was gonna say I'll light my diploma on fire. I probably won't do that.
I mean,
But maybe. I don't use it.
I did tell the Patreon that if we get up to like $1,000 of recurring revenue on Patreon, I will eat a dozen raw eggs on stream. I will do it.
I believe
An
you.
option. Or you can ask him not to do that.
I won't like it, but I will do it. To get back into this game, a couple of things have happened. Huey just got sick fucking burned and does not realize that other things are happening. There's movement over by the stage, and you've noticed that there are some lights going on in the buildings around you.
The lights are on, sorry, in the buildings that we thought were abandoned?
No, they were abandoned. But now there's like
Okay.
some dim lights in a couple of them that are on. And there is movement by the stage.
I'm trying to keep an eye out for Gerald.
I feel like checking out the stage is the priority. I'm curious about the buildings, but
I would agree stage is priority.
I mean, Gerald is at the stage, so he's seeing stuff right now.
Or he's not.
Or he's not.
I vote we go to the stage.
I can't comment. I'm too busy processing what happened, so.
Huey, shoes on, let's go.
Valid.
Well, sorry, I guess if I'm that smelly, like, he's just doing it now, but he doesn't understand why, and he's still grumbling a little bit about it. Like, I guess if we're gonna have a whole thing about it.
Yeah, you look
Stage.
up, like, you go to put your shoe on, so you put your foot up to put the shoe on, you see the lights are on.
Okay. I'm like, oh, I get it.
Perfect.
All
Okay.
right, let's go to the stage.
All right, let's go.
As you folks go to start heading for the stage, you notice a couple of things very quickly. One, you definitely notice that there is definitely some movement now on the stage. The second thing is that Gerald never specified how they intended on using the flare gun. And so you hear something yell as a flare fires across the stage at someone.
I'm so
In the
proud. I'm so proud.
He's perfect.
I love him so much. Them. I love
We need
them
Gerald
so
art.
much.
And so as you're running towards it, Gerald scampers up your leg and back and on your shoulder. It's like, motherfucker, scared the shit out of me. Ah!
What'd you see, man?
And you see there's a pulse of the lights. And you see a what looks like this backlit of something in a very large costume. It has like very long sleeves, their arms are out, and they're standing very tall, very too tall. Very, very too tall.
I hate that combination of words a lot.
Yeah.
Very too tall.
And they're wearing a hat with like a long, what looks like probably a long plume, whatever this being is. And they say, yes, the show can finally begin. And like there's another just thrum of lights. And then the speakers all like thrum forward. And like it like is this electronic, very loud screech that comes from them, and it bows down and it bolts directly towards you.
No.
Go time.
Go time. Is this roll initiative time?
And so this is going to be initiative.
Is our
That is your
highest
highest active. It is the inverse of perception.
I hate this.
So
Highest.
remember how I rolled an 11 with my
Yep.
that was with 5 dice. Because again, Huey is not an immediate action guy, so.
I got a 14.
Got a 16.
Damn it, I rolled a 1 on it.
Okay, 1 sec.
I rolled 3 5s and 3 3s, so
Okay.
24.
You're going first.
Okay. Above a 20. Okay. So right now you are still Sarah. Okay. 15 to 20.
Me.
Okay. So next is Heather. Okay. 5 to 10.
Ooh, I'm 14.
Excellent. Because I missed a block. Sorry, Mara. It's okay.
Okay.
And then last but most certainly not least, Huey,
I
Who's
rolled a 1.
whose shoelaces are untied or something.
Yeah, clearly.
I got
So-
a rock.
I got a rock.
Let me pull up their sheet. So folks, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do something cool. So for every $100 closer we get to the goal, the game's gonna get cooler and weirder for every $100 increment closer. Obviously capping where if we hit the goal, we're gonna go for maximum chaos at that point.
Oh no, that's new to me.
Yeah, because I just decided.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we didn't discuss this beforehand. It's
No, we
news
did
to
not.
all of you. So it is at this point, as this thing charges towards you, you notice that they pull out. Oh, and if we fully fund, we're giving away a dice tower. Okay, I'll show this off real quick. So this is the Nightmare Dice Tower. It is very cool and luminescent and gorgeous. So you want, I mean, I would take another one. Not gonna lie. So it charges toward you and it pulls out a very long, wicked looking two-handed axe that in the darkness you can't quite make out. But then as it swings, it looks like it is made of trash. So it looks like its neck appears to be just like a baseball bat that has been cut open in the middle, and out of the bottom of it, where it's being swung at you, it has like a bowling pin attached on one end, and what looks like maybe a juggling hammer that's attached on the other, and it swings right for 1 second. I was reading something. It's coming for Huey.
Oh no.
So Huey, roll. So you're gonna want to roll a defensive roll. So this is going to be like, 1 second. Let me make sure I do this correctly. So I'm gonna have you roll an active roll to try to avoid this attack.
Okay.
Yeah, you roll your most physically pertinent active ability.
That's what I'm trying to suss out, because my abilities are She Blinded Me with Science, Ultimate Brain, and AV Club Alumni. None of those scream physicality.
Well,
I mean,
that's-
to be honest,
Club
AV
alumni, you're swerving, getting shoved
Well,
in the trash.
I was
can.
gonna say that you should just lean into that failure and do that one.
You gotta push the cart, right? Yeah. Okay. So, but this one, it's still like a passive active thing, right?
So it's active. It's 100% active.
As in, I still have to split for that skill. I have to split it into it's active and it's passive.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so tertiary skill gets a total of, let me just double check what my
4.
base. 4. Okay, so I will do 2 and 2. So I will roll 2 dice, which is not great. And I got a 6.
Well, okay.
Oh, good.
So the way that this would tend to work is it would be based on like the difficulty difference between your defense and it hitting. He definitely hits you, and like you just get clubbed right across the face with one of the sides of it, and it doesn't stop. It's heading past you. It doesn't get that far past you, but like it's clearly trying. It's clearly up. Like this doesn't seem to be the end, but it's clearly up to something. Next, Sarah.
Yes. I remember my name. It's fine. Oh, it's my turn. Okay, sure.
Yes.
This is one of those abilities or weird things.
Okay. Let's talk it out.
So we're still just us. We're not our holomatics, but don't our holomatics like have powers and shit?
You could jump into your holomatics right now. You absolutely could do that.
Right. I mean, I feel like that might be smart just because our holomatics have better powers than us, and we are clearly not fighting people. So I'm gonna do that, I guess.
Okay. So I want you to describe like, because this is like a goddamn like light show. The moment this happens, it's a huge thing.
All right, so
So-
we're gonna go full Sailor Moon-esque like magical girl transformation bullshit. But there's just a little bit of a why the hell do I have to do this girly bullshit?
All right.
Kind
So
of attitude.
Describe
So-
it. Describe what you look like.
A bright, just solid white strobe flash as she completely changes, and it's just constant strobing with occasional red beams just shooting through. And as the beams hit her, she goes from this kind of like chill grunge look she's got to a massive Celtic punk blast from the 80s. The hair gets bigger, just still messy as fuck, but just bigger. A black leather strap with a silver tree of life pendant goes around her neck. A like tight-fitting fishnet shirt goes on over just a black bra, but with a jean vest that has a nice collar of like tartan material and a Celtic knotwork belt, and then I don't want cargo pants, but like those kind of like baggy punk pants you got that, but also in tartan, and then the combat boots. The spikes elongate and go further up. Like normally they're just like kind of mid calf, but they go all the way up to her knees at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And as she holds her hand up, and this will be a nice reveal for all the polls that have been happening, a fiddle descends, and she pulls the bow out from like nowhere.
Excellent.
and then does her stupid pose because Sailor Moon.
I love it. Okay, so what do you now? So you transform, and then what do you do?
So I don't entirely understand how our powers work, and I just kind of want to send some kind of blast at him, but I'm trying to remember where that part was, because we picked our powers.
So you have your scenes. So one of them is folk, correct?
Yes.
Excellent. And so that gives you access to the zone. What was your other one? Punk, I believe?
Punk. Yeah, it was folk and punk.
So that's equilibrium. So you have access to the vibes of the equilibrium and the zone. So the equilibrium is balance, insight, and physicality. So total control of your body, heightened perception. And the zone is chemical empathy, memory, and group mind alteration. There's multiple ways that you can use those vibes. You can feel the vibe, which is to sense it or experience it. You can kick the vibe, which is a short, simple effect to like alter something or change something. There is a sustain the vibe, which is to create something semi-permanent or tangible. Then there's shred the vibe, which is to attack or destroy.
Okay, so you said I had access to the zone.
Yes,
which,
and the equilibrium.
Chemical empathy, and group mind alteration. One thing I want to do is just boost the confidence and determination of our crew, because we are going to take whatever the hell this thing is down, and I want everyone on their fucking A games.
Excellent. So go ahead and roll. And
what?
So the way this would work is that you would roll an ability that you think would kind of like affect that, but also it depends on, let's see. So you were using I'm just checking your gigs first because it might give you
I
more
was
dice.
I was axes and vocals. I had tasty licks and throw your voice.
So you're not using tasty licks and you're not using.
It's not really good for either one.
Well, but sometimes they have other like passives, so I'm just checking.
Gotcha.
Okay. So so neither of those would really affect it. So I would roll whatever passive you feel like best kind of your active that best reflects that. Normally your vibe bonus for your house, so if you're using feel the vibes, you get an additional die, but since you're using shred, you do not get that die. So highest active, so you're active that best suits what you're doing.
I'm not using shred though. I'm not attacking. I'm boosting our crew.
Okay, so so that would be
I'm being a support character right now, like.
So you can do sustain the vibe.
Okay.
Which is create something semi-permanent, intangible to more than one senses. So that would make sense. Feel the vibe is more about like perceiving things and those sorts of things. So this would be a sustain the vibe check. You can also add glitter to it. Okay. Which would allow you, like, so you can sustain it more than one turn if you use glitter, but you don't need to use it now. I'll let you do that on your next turn.
Okay. So would this be more active because I'm doing this?
Definitely active.
Okay.
100.
Then I feel like I don't give a damn about my reputation would probably be appropriate, but I mean, anarchist criminal might not be bad either. So I'm not sure.
So I think both of them make sense. I think especially because like of the 80s vibe of, I don't give a damn about my reputation and just like that energy and applying it to everyone. makes a hell of a lot of sense here. So that's what
Yeah,
I
that was my first instinct, but okay. See what happens. That is a solid, you know what? Not terrible. 13.
Okay. So everyone gets to, as long as this ability is in effect, you re-roll your lowest die on all checks until the ability ends. So now, in order to sustain the vibe, you start playing, and so like you're just like popping out some notes on it, and so that other people can like you're laying down the baseline for this music that you all be playing to really fight this thing. Heather, you're up.
Fiddle, not bass.
Sorry, I was muted. That's me. So yeah, I think I'll also do the holomatic thing.
All right. Tell us about it.
Yeah, Heather's holomatic is Ashley with a Y and Ashley with 2 E's. And the vibe is very much 80s Madonna. It's just a lot of pieces. It's like big bows, big jackets, there's corset, there's a tulle skirt. Like there's just she's never heard of taking a piece off. It's layering pieces on pieces on pieces. It's kind of the vibe for that.
I love it. And then so for your like what gig are you using for this in this moment?
So my thought was to use the fever because I have Yanko, which will let me basically take the enemy's power and then absorb and redirect it. So if it's like running around kind of like going at people, I would love to stop it from attacking us and try to like direct it away from the stage.
So right now it looks like it's making its way towards the houses, but it also is being like really shifty. So you are like prepping for it to take that next step. So so the fever is like an unusual talent, or like an accordion or a theremin or a cowbell. What is your addition?
Oh gosh. Can I get back to you on that? Because I've just entirely blanked on every instrument that exists in this moment.
I fucking love it when that happens. Kit!
As Kit said before, it's go time, and Kit, who you've seen up until now being incredibly clumsy, drops into a breakdance flare, causing a bunch of flames to kick up, and when the flames dissipate, Kit is now Iggy Knight. Her hair is basically just holographic fire, and she's wearing a leather harness with corset for her top, a pair of distressed jeans with a studded belt, platform combat boots, and is wielding her bass guitar.
Love it. Love it. All right. What do you want to do?
I am going to shred the vibe because I don't want this giant, horrible thing hitting anybody else. So as the warrior of the axe and the moves, I am going to slam dance using my active gig. And because I am from House Carnival, I get a +1 die to shred my vibes.
Excellent. So you definitely get that +1. And let's hit it.
Okay. So for active gig, that's going to be street performer for this. So that's going to be 5d6. 15.
Roll the 16. You did you re-roll your lowest die?
No, I did not.
You reload your
Thank
lowest
you.
die and you keep the higher of the 2 rolls.
Hell yeah.
Okay, let's make that 18.
That hits.
Yeah.
So it's trying to get it's making it appear like it's trying to get away, but as you get closer, as a person who is like very mobile and is constantly moving and is constantly in that mindset, you notice that they have like their 1 foot is a little bit too far forward. And so they are very clearly going to like kick off of it and come back around. And as they go to turn, you just crack them right across the side. And they just start laughing. It's like, it is a pained, distressed laugh, but it is definitely not the sound you were necessarily expecting out of that, for certain. But you definitely hit it.
Nice.
Huey. You done got hit.
I would say, am I in a state to do anything? How am I feeling?
So since we're talking about the way the rules work, let's talk damage states. So you've taken 1 level of damage. And oh goodness, I think it's health states. I just had this open and I looked away. So you're bruised. You're in okay condition. You have no minuses or any sort of other effects at this point.
All right. So I guess he kind of like sits up. He tries to do like, you know that thing in action movies where they like kind of like spit and like rub themselves? He tries to do that, but like he does not like being punched. So he's kind of like he tries to be cool. It's not cool. He goes, okay, let's get this over with. And I guess it's time to bring out Buffy. So he does, he pulls out of his backpack his, I guess again, always ready with the backpack. He pulls out some like techie, you know what it is? It's the power glove from that movie in the 80s with the video game glove. That's so bad. Yeah, so he puts on his power glove and the transformation basically happens from that down. And so unlike everyone else where the holomatics is a personification of like their personality or what they use, Huey made the girl that he wants. Not wants to be. He made the girl he wants. So Buffy Marvelous is basically Beverly Love, but a giant anime robot. No correct proportions. Giant like blue hair. And she's ready to go. She is super 80s kawaii and cute, and she pulls out of her pigtails the 2 drumsticks because Huey is our drummer. Sorry, poll voters. And
excellent.
When in holomatics mode, the power glove is like these adorable like little bracelets. Because girls don't play video games, obviously. No.
Never once. So what do you do?
So I had an idea, but I just like, so because I am tuned into my gigs, not my gigs, my scenes are electro folk, I think it is. The 2 that both give me the circuit. It was electro, like, I think it was like something about like electro groove, it might have been.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, so by Give Me the Power in the circuit, I get some +1 to sustaining the vibes. So I think what I'm going to do is, because these things kind of seem like they have the ability. So if Heather is essentially debuffing them, I'm going to try to buff the team instead and like use my ability to give them a speed boost. So that way we all have the ability to do what we're doing faster. So we're more confident and we can move to try to keep up with them. And I'm going to try to sustain that.
So roll them bones. Highest active that you think makes sense here. And then, so you are sustaining the vibe. Mm-hmm. And what house were you again?
Riviera.
House Riviera. So you do not get a bonus to that, I don't think.
No, but being into the circuit does, because I get +1 to sustain.
Oh. Yeah, no, House Reverie gives you a +1 to sustain, yeah.
That was something I have gives me +1 to
Yes.
sustain. So
I'm thinking Rockstra. That is not sustain. That is shred.
and I'm gonna reload my lowest dice. 18.
Excellent. So this thing was moving like blisteringly fast before. And at this point, it seems like it is it doesn't seem to be moving nearly so fast anymore. It seems to be more in time with your movements. So it's not as hard to track or see, which means it will be rolling less when you try to hit it. So it's at that point, because now you folks are looking away from the stage and you folks are looking at the van. And at this point, you see other like forms on the roofs of the buildings. And it seems like they're throwing stuff back and forth to each other. And then they turn towards you. I'm going to need everyone to roll me a defensive roll. So that would be an active roll to try to dodge ranged projectiles.
Sounds like it's time for Can't Touch This.
Nice.
Damn, that's so perfect.
And I think, Mara, don't forget, I think you get a +1 to that as well because of one of your...
Restless reflexes?
Yes, I think that, yeah.
Also, don't forget to re-roll your lowest.
Also, I have internal metronome through the beat, which gives me a +1 to anything involving timing. And I would like to argue that dodge requires timing.
It does.
It does.
And
I feel pretty confident with my roll right now.
So what happens when you reload your lowest dice and it's lower? Do you have to keep that?
No,
No.
highest
Okay.
dice.
Reroll the lowest, keep the highest, higher of those. But Ren, I didn't say what happened to Gerald, or would you like to say what happened to Gerald?
Oh, I
Because-
thought Gerald's just with you.
Right, but I mean, like, in terms, because now that, well, since I went holomatic, or holomat, like, doesn't he do that too, since he's from the flip side?
So he doesn't, but you folks see what Gerald kind of always looks like. So, instead of it being just like a little ferret, it's still the same physical form, but it looks like it is like constantly like, you know how it has like those like the RBG lights that kind of like are constantly like moving and flowing and those sorts of things.
You mean
It
like behind you?
Yes, similar to that. It has that, but it's all very like, it's like greens and like very like folk-esque kind of tones moving through it. Okay. So-
Because I forgot every instrument that had ever existed a couple of minutes ago. It was a synth board, I think is what we had talked about being my instrument. Just like a super ridiculous, just like sound board, basically. And Meg suggested a triangle in the shape of a heart or a star, and I love that idea. So it's a synth board in the shape of a heart with
I
a bunch
love
of
that.
like reaction sounds, basically.
Amazing. So, as you folks look up and you see these things coming towards you, there's one thing you immediately realize, and that is that they are not messing around. Did anyone roll above a 34?
In what universe, Ren?
I'm going to take that as a no.
No.
I rolled a 25 and I felt like I rolled too high.
Roll an
Dang.
8.
So everyone takes 1 level of damage. And they don't stop throwing them. And so like that roll for you is to basically like try to get to cover as like they're throwing pins. Like old-timey throwing pins are just like, one of you is like behind a cotton candy machine and like one of them like goes through the cotton candy machine as they are just firing and laughing, and on top of that, you hear like music going on. You can start to hear it even though it's from a further away, and it sounds like circuit music. And this person who got hit kind of like grins, says, "Ah, yes, my ensemble," and keeps heading back towards those buildings and your van.
We should follow.
So are you going to jump out of cover, or are you folks going to try to move cover to cover to stay like down, because they are still like firing these pins?
I mean, if they're still firing the pins, I think we're gonna have to do something like that, like cover to cover. Is there anything?
I think I must have been out, because the thing I did was basically making fun of them to try to like redirect them. So that seems like I couldn't be hiding to do that.
You can stop doing that?
Sure.
Oh wait, no,
yeah.
You were going to use that ability, and that did not go off. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay.
So if you'd like to still use that ability now that you know what is happening, I would allow several of those other attacks to target you instead.
Fuck it. Yeah. Why not?
What did you roll? 12? Okay. So you take...
It says either... Sorry, is it the roll that we just made, or is it a different roll?
And this is the defensive roll that you already made. It was a...
Okay.
What did you get on that?
A 12.
Okay. So you take one more level of damage, but Huey and Sarah do not get hit.
Okay. Cool.
So instead of everyone taking one, you took two, and two other people did not take damage.
Cool.
I would like to remind you folks that one of the benefits of using the vibe, sustain the vibe, allows you to create things that are tangible to more than one sense. So that has some ways that you can create things to potentially help you move forward instead of just being literally pinned down. That's a $5 pun. You can go ahead and cash that in at Kickstarter for this game.
Highly recommended. Okay, so I was planning on sustaining the vibe, and you said that having it be sustained can affect two different senses, or more than one.
It says very specifically to sustain the vibe is to create something semi-permanent and tangible to more than one sense.
Okay. Can I build off of the vibe I currently have with that sustain?
So the way the answer is yes. So what you could do is you could add glitter to the vibe. So what that does is it maintains a vibe without continuously playing music. So let's say you're creating an image of a billboard advertising the Battle of the Bands in the middle of downtown, and you'd like to leave it overnight. You would use one glitter to make it remain there. So I'll say that if you use one glitter, because you only get 5, if you want to keep that one up to make it so that people can continue to re-roll, that will continue for the rest of the evening.
I would like to do that and then do another sustain.
Sure.
What I would like to do is, using the anarchist criminal, I would like to throw up a large like the anarchist A with the circle around it, and basically create like an air shield that we can permeate from our side, but that will give us additional cover from the pins so that we can walk forward.
Yeah, no, roll for that. I love that.
All right. Ah, okay, hold on. And re-rolling that one. Okay. So, hold on, math. 10, 21, 26.
Okay. So you create this thing, and they can certainly hit it, but it is deflecting the damage. And so that definitely gives you folks an option to like get behind that and push through. And you're able to really start to close on it, on them behind it. Heather.
So when I'm looking at vibes,
Yes.
and I can tap into the zone, which has chemical empathy, memory, and group mind alteration. Can I... Group mind alteration is an interesting phrase.
Yes,
Can
it
I
is.
try to, like, get in these things' heads and convince them that we are somewhere else, or that we are scarier than we look?
You can certainly try. Roll for it.
Okay.
That would be the active that you feel best represents that. So you could do that. I could say that you could either do it as a shred or as a sustain.
Okay, so my house bonus gives me +1 to sustain, so I'll do that.
Mhm.
And I think it has to be my talent, so accidents never happen.
Yeah, go for it.
Ooh. And I get to reroll my lowest still?
Yes, that will be continuing for the rest of the evening. And so that is one thing that I don't know if we've been playing it as strict as we should, but please remember that in order to like feel the vibe, kick the vibe, synth vibe, and shred, that lines up with different like whether it's going to be like a talent or like those match up.
So I got a 15.
Okay. So they see the pins begin to bounce off, and as that happens, the pins stop coming. And they jump, they something about their plan not working as they intended now seems incredibly terrifying. And so they dive down, and you hear the building right next to yours, which is where they were doing the auction, is where they all seem to be going into. And the person who is like running towards the back door is making their way towards that door at this point. Kit.
First of all, point of order, Iggy's gear does contain a set of sunglasses, so made sure I put those on. Oh, we've got a hype train.
We do. Thank you so
Ooh.
much, Ordinary Motorist, for those 5 gifted subs.
Yeah.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah, Kit is still chasing after the biggest one, or the one that we have made contact with thus far. Is Kit takes umbrage, well, Iggy, I suppose, takes umbrage with someone hitting Huey. So, I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to try and gain on this thing and slam dance again, which I forgot to mention. If I manage to hit, since it's a murder on the dance floor, it deals 2 wounds levels of damage, not 1.
Excellent. Did you do that? Did that affect last time as well, or just?
Yes, it did. I slam
Okay.
danced.
I'll make sure that I note that.
Perfect. So we are going to. I'm going to try and shred one more time. Really give that bass guitar a good, really cool bass groove, and hit this giant thing with that bonus dice, and re-roll my lowest. Nice. Oh no, that rolled off the table. That did nothing. Okay. That is a 16.
It is not enough.
All right.
It's close, and like as you swing down, it like just moves out of the way, and you pick up a bunch of dirt off the ground, and like you hear that bong of like the bass just like reverberate through the air. It is not laughing anymore. It definitely seems to be far more concerned about all of you than it was a moment ago. That brings us down to Huey.
So, there was someone running into a building, right?
The two people on the roofs appear to have been jumping down, and the person who is being chased is heading towards the building where the silent auction is being held. And there's a light on in that building.
And we're more concerned about the chaser or the person being chased, team? I would guess the person being chased because, like, probably want to know what's going on, right?
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Okay, so per Ren's suggestion, I am once again going to sustain the vibes. This time using She Blinded Me with Science. I don't know how many of you know the video game Outrun. Outrun was a 1980s racing game, and so what we're going to do here is we're going to use the sensibility thing here to make like a car, the Outrun style car, which has Huey in the driver's seat and Buffy as the hot girl from Outrun in his driver's seat, and we're gonna go find this man because now you can see and hear the car burn some rubber, baby.
All right, roll for it.
What does this have to do with music? Nothing. I'm here for 80s vibes.
Yes.
So that's the thing though, is that every time you're doing these checks, you are playing music. So like it does matter.
Oh,
Only
yeah,
in this case, it's the music from Outrun.
It's the Outrun soundtrack,
Right.
yeah, because like Buffy plays the drums, so it's like this like electro drum kits that like were really big in the 80s. So like, you know, we all
A dinner and a
we've all
game
seen
played
movies
run for
or
0 bits.
grew up then. So 16, which is not great, but not awful.
Okay, you definitely get the car, and you definitely are making choice. You're going fast. You're going really fast, and you come up behind it, and it stops. And it does a perfect backflip and lands on the hood of the car.
Yeah.
And so as you're going right towards the building. And so what do you do with that moment? Like, would you stop? Would you what would your next reaction immediately be?
Knowing Huey, he'd probably slam the brakes.
The moment you slam on the brakes, it jumps forward and crashes through a window into the building.
Perfect. This is exactly what I meant to happen.
And they are all inside. We are going to break from initiative right now. When we do initiative, we will do the a new reroll check for initiative. Keep in mind that the one vibe is sustained. So as you do any checks, reroll your lowest die and keep the highest result. And so they all have entered this very dark building, and in what looks like the main hall through the window, which is the window that it just crashed through, you see like a dim glowing light.
You mentioned earlier, sorry, I meant to ask this, that like you hear circuit music?
It's that stopped when they started running.
Okay.
But you definitely heard circus music coming from this direction.
Oh, circus! I thought you said circuit, like my vibe. I was wondering if I could.
Oh,
do
no,
it.
no.
Circus
music.
Okay, thank you. I say Heather and or Ashley interrogates because like Huey has no social skills, and now we have the ability to talk. to him,
Yeah.
right?
Hold on, I want to look.
Yeah,
at my
I have a skill where I can charm somebody, actually. So can I use the only prescription on them?
As you get to the building, you don't see anyone inside. You do see a television. One second. And it is probably the largest television you have ever seen in your entire life. It is so. What it is it is a flat panel, and there's a projector that has this like weird, like almost like round end that is projecting a really staticky and hard to see image from here on it.
I would like to use, because now that I'm in holomatics form, I would like to use my circuit, which gives me, according to the language, an innate control over technology and electricity to use the TV to try to clean up the image.
You would have to make contact with it to do that, but you can do that.
So it's like kind of in the other side of the room.
Yeah. You'd have to go into the building in order to do that, which you can be doing. I just want to make sure that is what you want to do.
And so like we're like basically like at the door frame, like we're like just like basically right outside the building.
Yeah, so there's a set of double doors that lead into a room, and there's all sorts of stuff that are for auction. This is one of the items that was here for auction. So you can either enter through the broken window, like that one thing did, or you can go through the door.
I think I'm going to do this, but I'm going to enter through the door because Huey does not want to be next to whatever that was.
Cool. As you head inside, you don't see anything. Like, you can see where the glass shattered, where whatever it was went through, and the door was already open because like something clearly like kicked the doors in and ran in here, but you don't see anyone in here now.
Okay.
You head over to the television. Do people like follow? Like where's everyone at this point?
I think I follow because I also have the circuit. And so I don't know if there's a way to like the equivalent of help.
Yes, you can absolutely help clean up the image once you're in there. Everyone else?
I'm standing near the door, keeping one eye on behind us and ready to help if needed.
I'm getting ready to throw that shield back up just behind them.
Help if needed.
I'm getting ready
folks reach out and you touch it to make that contact and make that happen. I would like you to go ahead and roll the highest active that you feel, because like at this point, I think it just gives you innate control. It doesn't sound like you need to specifically use a vibe for that. Yeah. Well, you could use a vibe. So you can use a feel the vibe, kick the vibe, sustain, or shred on this. Obviously, shred would break it, but you could.
all of us or who?
The two that are trying to operate
Okay.
this machine.
I wonder if feel the vibe would. I think at first I'm going to not, and then if I feel like I need to get more information out of it, I might try feeling the vibe.
Okay. So
And
what
then
are you
maybe
gonna
I'll try sustain so that
Oh
we can have
yeah,
like a combination of the two.
I like
Cool.
that.
So roll a feel and a sustain.
Oh god. Well, I just threw a
12.
dice. Uh, 22.
Nice.
It takes a little bit of time to get it going. And as it cleans up, Huey, you start to experience a number of different things. That circus music, you can hear it, like you get a sense of it. You can't hear it. You can't hear it with your ears, but you get a feeling of it through that touch sensory we were talking about earlier. And you almost get the smell of like stale popcorn, cotton candy, and the image starts to become more clear. And you see what looks like a sign for a vaudeville show. People, dressed in weird costumes and things like that. And as you go to pull your hand away, you can't. And then you hear out loud, "Didn't you hear? Vaudeville's dead, and television's the box that's gonna bury it in." And you both get pulled into the projector.
Video killed the vaudeville star.
Now, for the two players who are still in the room, you do know as Holomatics that you have the ability to... You immediately know they've been dragged into the flip side. And so you can absolutely go in after them.
I think we absolutely need to.
Yeah.
Huey's the only one who can drive.
Well, you're not the only one who can
tractor.
drive. You don't let us. There's a difference.
Anyway, I'm gonna go leap into the TV, I suppose.
Yeah, as soon as I see that they're being pulled in, I'm going after them.
Yeah, you folks run up and you access the flip side. And so what it looks like from the outside is the same thing that happens when these two. It's almost like when on an old tube television, when you flip channels, there's that like static change real quick. It's that, and they were gone. And so it's the same thing for the two of you. And as you folks step in, you are standing in a giant tent. It is a giant circus tent that you're standing in. You're standing in the middle of the center of the ring, and your two friends are here. And you see them. You see maybe an 8-foot tall, dressed like a ringmaster, form standing on a stage. You see two smaller. They look like they're masculine form, and they are like they're jugglers. They're juggling back and forth. You see a smaller figure who's like blowing, like swallowing fire and blowing like gouts of fire into the air. And right next to the circus is a woman who is very well dressed. And out of all of these looks, is definitely not a costume. And she kind of like smiles. She's like, "Well done." It's like, "Of course, I can tame a lion. I can tame some holomatics."
You can't say that about people.
Are you people? Are we people?
I think I would, yeah. Well, I don't know about you. I won't speak for you.
Well, regardless, you're in our home now. And that's when, for a moment, this strikes you all as like, this seemed odd when you got here, but now you're starting to put some pieces together. The flip side is a place where, like, there are things that live in the flip side. Shriekers and compellers don't live in the flip side. So it is incredibly odd that these very clearly shriekers at this point, like, have set up shop here. It's not just like this is a trap. It's like they fucking live here. And that strikes you as very odd. Any last words before the show begins?
Now can I try to use the only prescription?
You absolutely could. Yes.
Okay, great. So I can charm. Well, it says charm one normal person, so maybe I can't.
They are not normal, to be certain. They
Yeah.
are not normal. You could try and use something else to charm them, of course. Let's see. So you have a couple of just normal abilities. What were the two of them used?
Sorry, what?
What were your abilities again?
Which
You have
sorry, which
Yanko.
one?
You have Yanko.
Yes, and the only prescription.
Okay.
And then, I mean, I just like a regular, because I House Fantasia, I just have like a regular, like, people pay attention to me. +1 to persuade or distract others. I basically want to get this person monologuing, is the goal.
It's a good goal.
Like, they were already kind of doing it, so I just want to try to, like, prompt them to tell me more about what is going on.
I mean, you can do that without using an ability. So you could use an
Cool.
active check that you feel like best represents this. It's just a normal check to try to like bait them into.
Yeah, can I just use maligned princess?
Of course you can. That sounds great.
Yeah. Ooh, not great.
So don't forget you can re-roll your
Yeah.
lows, and so I will tell you, because this character is like a ringmaster, and this is what they do. Like, this will be the DC would be lower than you would generally expect.
18.
So how do you try to bait them? Like, what do you?
So what was the last thing they said? It was just like, welcome to my.
It was
Twisted
any last
fantasy.
words before the show begins?
What kind of show? I love a show. Can you what is that? What does that mean?
It stands up at full height, and it goes, "Ah, yes, of course!" And a cane appears in its hand, and it points in like maybe a 30-foot by 60-foot banner unfurls from the side. It's like, first, the fire-breathing lass, and as they say that, you see this like giant gout of flame that almost touches the roof of this impossibly tall tent. And then as it comes out, just sucks all the fire back in and takes a bow. And it's like, yes, and the amazing juggling twins, they can juggle anything. And so they're juggling batons. And then one of them pulls out a chainsaw. And then it's like a scythe. And then it's like the fender of a DeLorean. And like they are just juggling, just pulling weirder. There's like a fish bowl with a live fish in it, and the fish seems fine, like a chicken, like live chicken, and they are just juggling,
legs.
and they're juggling them across like a 40-foot span. Basically, like they are on either sides of the circle you are in on like stands, so they're juggling these things over your heads, like with no problem.
What are you doing? And it seems like a waste of your talent to be in here. Why did you drag us in here?
And next, the amazing business advisor. And it's a picture of the woman who's standing there, and she's like, "Yeah, I keep the place running." It's like, she has the most amazing talent of us all, mathematics.
That's
I know,
true,
that's
but like
nice.
with a good agent, you could like get out in front of some people. You could like have a real kind of show here instead of like having to drag 5 of us. Just isn't a super. You could have a better audience, a bigger audience, instead of like trashing a stage and then dragging 5 people in here. You could be on the stage.
I'm gonna need another roll for that.
Yeah,
Is
that's
anyone trying to like help at this point?
But like,
I
she
mean, it's.
I feel like Huey would only make it worse.
I mean,
yeah, like
Huey
I'm in the
might
same-
only make it worse, but would Buffy only make it worse?
I keep forgetting to like think that way.
Could I maybe help? Like basically backing up Ashley with the idea that this is a show that should really be taken out, outside of the flip side, by using malicious compliance.
You could. I would also like to remind you that because of your house, I think you have something.
I get
that
glitter
helps with
back.
it.
No, I get glitter back if I make my bandmates look or sound better, or something like that.
Yes, and so that would qualify here first of all. But I was pretty sure you had something else that would benefit you here. That gives you +1. I felt like
+1 to feel the vibes.
someone had something where it's +1 to deception.
me.
Okay, that is you.
Well,
Okay,
persuasion or distraction.
yeah.
Oh no, I have that's under vocals, but because I can see where it's coming from anywhere within my line of sight because I have throw your voice, but that really wouldn't.
Well, so I think throw your voice could benefit here,
Okay.
because like at this point you're trying to add more to what's being said, and so in this case you absolutely could like try to like add. Basically, you're adding more gravitas to what the two of you are saying. So I could absolutely see you adding that as well.
Okay. So then I guess would malicious compliance be the way to go on that? Then?
Yeah, you can so let me see for that ability. So you could just use malicious compliance straight up. That is absolutely a thing. Let me look at the ability for throw your voice and see how that would. Nope, that is the wrong thing. Yeah, no, you just get an extra die on rolls involving social deception. So yeah,
Okay.
you can roll that and just get another die.
Do you want this passive or active?
These would be active rolls.
And I don't get as many.
I got a 16.
I got a. Hold on, I can do math. 12.
The jugglers stop juggling. And they carefully put everything down. So like they catch the chicken, they let the chicken down. They catch the chainsaw, they turn it off, they let it down. Like the fish bowl, the one sits it on its head while they catch the rest of the things. So it's like it's very, very easy, very calm. The person breathing fire stops and starts walking forward, and it seems like you are like you're getting past them, through them. They're like, yeah, we could do something outside. Isn't there something going on outside? And like the oh my goodness. The master of ceremonies just kind of waves her arms like, no. They're going to change this place. We can't have that. We can't have them changing this is our little piece of heaven. We can't have them messing with that. Can we?
You brought us here.
Oh, no, you see, we were out there to destroy the stage. We brought you in here because we have control here. So this would be the best place to deal with the likes of you.
But if you destroy the stage, you can't perform on it. And we're saying you can come perform and maybe get More cool talent?
The others, like, all just kind of look at each other. And the MC just kind of, no, absolutely not. And they step down and they start, like, walking up to you. You're like, no, we can't have that. This is our home. We belong here, and no one else does.
Can I try to tap into like the equilibrium to gain some insight as to what this MC is like? It seems
their
like they're a
vibe is?
little
Aha,
yeah.
aha.
Yeah, that's really where I was trying to go, but like yeah.
You absolutely can. Please do that.
Okay.
And if anyone else would like to attempt to just try something similar, let me know how you want to do that.
As someone who can identify with like a fellow criminal type, I think I'll go with anarchist criminal here.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate. Cool. Okay, so not too bad. 11, 14, 15, 16, 19?
So, does anyone remember what how a holomatic persona is built? The basics of what it is. The basics of a holomatic persona is a mote of rhapsody, or this otherworldly being that comes to you via magic and sound and in broadcast energy. This living manifestation becomes a part of you, and it becomes things about yourself that maybe you're not even aware of. It draws things out that even if right now you don't see that part of yourself, there's something deep at your core that it is resonating with powerfully. And it's that resonation that makes it so powerful, because it is drawing upon your inner and truest self. This shrieker has latched onto someone who is very afraid of losing everything, and very afraid of something happening that it will go wrong. And because the difference between a shrieker and a holomat, or someone who's become a holomatic, it is a warped version of that. So that is how this is coming out. Yes.
Buffy reaches into Huey's backpack with her big, I'm guessing Holomatrix are supposed to be like 10 feet tall, much bigger, much taller than...
They don't have to be, no.
Oh, okay.
They can be.
Buffy is.
Pulls out, well, obviously, with the 6-inch high heels for stepping on people. Huey's a freak. It's fine. What his holomatrix is unlocked is that Huey needs therapy. My point is, Buffy leans into Huey's backpack and pulls out those 80 cell phones that were rectangles, and she calls Quill.
Do you get cell service in the flip side?
I do if I control electricity, baby.
The ringleader is so frustrated, and so it leans over at the waist down to make eye contact with you all, and then you hear a phone ring. And it is like one of those bang, it is literally a bell being hit by a piece of metal over and over and over again. One moment, and it stands all the way back up, and it reaches into its pocket, and it pulls out a giant full wall phone with the wall and sets it down and answers it. Hello?
It must hurt. This is Bobby talking. It must hurt that everyone in your town left. And you must be looking for ways to bring them back and entertain them in the future. It may sometimes seem like you want to travel so you can find others. But wouldn't you rather they find a home with you?
In this moment, it is as if the entire tent shakes. And you see that the tapestries begin to fall. And it seems like this place is like you're getting like this like broadcast static, and like this place is clearly becoming unstable. And the other folks kind of look at each other, like the three younger folks just immediately blip out. The person who's standing on stage just kind of like looks on and looks really concerned, but like when the others leave, follows, like clearly trying to keep an eye on them. And the ringleader, it's like when someone gets shot in slow motion. Like they have the phone and they drop the phone and they just start falling backwards. And so for something this big, that is a very long fall. And when it hits the ground like reverberates, and you start to see the image.
Huey falls over when the ground shakes.
So are they like on the ground together?
Yeah, but like far away, but like Huey's Ringmaster's is dramatic. Huey didn't tie his shoes properly during that moment, so when it shook, he like took a step and like the Converse, he fell over. That's all. Continue.
So as the ground like reverberates and shakes, you see the image of the ringleader fade, and it's Quill. And then you see Quill blips out, and then as this place kind of collapses, you all blip back into reality. And Quill is laying on the floor, staring up at the ceiling, and the only light in here at this point is the projector, just projecting white light onto this this curved screen. And you see like the younger folks are there, and they are like keeping like looking, like trying to make sure that each other is okay. So like Oliver and Trent are checking on Sarah, and Rosemary is like mothering over them, even though two of them are grown-ass men, but like just making sure that they're okay because it's a fucked up situation. And Quill is just laying on the floor and is awake, but is just staring at the ceiling in just shock for a moment.
I mean, should we maybe like restrain him or something?
You folks get this sense that the energy that reads Shrieker isn't here anymore. You can still feel like you can still sense the power of the glitter with them in those sorts of things, but they are very clearly not Shriekers any longer. What the fuck was that? And Quill slowly sits up.
You got some big feelings there, friend?
I mean, don't we all?
Huey just shakes his head, and then like Buffy glares over to him like, "Shut up." He's like, "No, I'm feel fine." And Buffy's like, because my mindset is that Buffy feels what Huey cannot.
Huey's never had a complicated emotion in his life, but that doesn't reflect on you.
Well, we'll see if we can't fix that. And Quill winks at Huey and gets up.
Huey, you have to call him another time.
Did we do that?
You have to call them when you're not in crisis.
Did we? So we were the ones messing up the stage?
Yeah. Just curious, which one did Gerald shoot?
So Gerald shot at Quill.
Okay. Hey, Gerald. You should apologize. This was a big misunderstanding, I think.
Nope. I'd do it again. But we can be friends anyway.
Don't make nice.
Quill laughs just heartily at that. It's like, no, you know what? I appreciate that. If you turn into a giant monster, I promise I'll shoot a flare gun at you too. Gerald just gives him a thumbs up.
That's friendship. You gotta call your friends on their shit.
I love Gerald.
And so like after a long minute of like them trying to get together, yes?
Ferrets do not have thumbs.
No. I know. I have to. They just held with one arm and pulled with the other.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
That's how they fired the flare gun.
No, for the thumbs up. For the thumbs up.
Well, I will say that it does reference that it is a pseudo anthropomorphic.
It is pseudo.
So,
Perfect.
I mean,
It's a
they could have
ferret with one human hand.
The only anthro part is that he has a thumb. That's just...
it's just a paw, and their paws just happen to have 5 instead of 4.
And my snake facts were horrifying.
You see, Meg's right. They can have tiny thumbs as a treat.
As long as it's not like just straight up or like baby hands on a ferret, I'm fine. It just needs to be.
Rosemary, like after a while, goes, "How did we get here?" And he's just looking outside for our cars, like, "Would y'all mind driving us home? We have some spare bedrooms you can use at the hotel to crash in."
I totally vote for crashing.
Huey pulls the bubble pipe out of his pocket, blows a little bit, and goes, "Well, it would be my..." And before he can say any one-liner, he like chokes on the bubble stuff, and he can't say anything.
Oh,
Quill, you should sit in shotgun next to Huey. He won't let anyone else drive.
Yeah, I'll take the back.
Okay, sure.
Do you promise not to put your feet on the dashboard?
I'm too tall to put my feet on the dashboard.
Yeah, okay.
You had
I
your
have stacks,
bare
it's fine.
feet on the windshield. It's fine. It's fine.
Everyone piles in, and as the music kicks on, I was just like, "Oh shit, I love this music." I really love like that they're taking like a lot of just like classic pop and those sorts of things, and really just adding like some of like the underground house and those sorts of aspects to it. It's really cool.
Yeah,
If you think
pretty
if you
rad.
think that's cool, wait until we play. You can come see the show tomorrow. We'll talk then.
I'd love to.
Cool. General admission tickets are $15. You can stand
Oh
in the
my
back.
God.
Oh, I'm accomplice! I'm accomplice!
Don't worry about tickets. Don't worry about tickets.
No, it's okay. We already have backstage passes. The promoter sent them over.
Good.
Good.
Heather, we got a lot of work to do.
so much.
And so the evening ends, and the next day at the show goes on. You folks go on stage and absolutely crush the show. Everybody loves it, and by the end, between the silent auction and all those sorts of things, you raise more than enough money to be able to really help revive this town and all of that stuff. As you folks like play your last song, you look over and you see that, you know, like some of the folks are in the crowd, and you see Quill is like off on the off in the wings, kind of like watching from backstage. And in that moment, you folks get this real sense, like you folks haven't been doing this Holomatics thing that long, and like it is chaos. Like you are thrust into a situation that, you know, you could barely understand, being teenagers and fighting against like beings that want to destroy your entire world. But in this small moment, you were able to help real people to like actually succeed and grow, and to be able to bring life back to something. And even if not everything is going to be this way, even if things get really tense and really difficult in this moment, things just feel kind of fucking awesome. And that's game.
Yeah!
Yay!
Nice. I'd like to burn an extra glitter to have us all feel that vibe.
Aww.
Aw.
And I will say that like playing any of the RPG like the Remembrix games, it's this really awesome balance between like these really tense, really difficult, really stressful, big problems, and then these like little moments where you get to do some real awesome, cool stuff. And that's why I love playing anything that Nerdy City makes. We've been able to bank a couple $100. They are 551 away from hitting Kickstarter. They have 4 days to go, and honestly, I think they got this.
Absolutely.
I totally recommend to my fellow players, if you haven't pledged already, you should totally do that and drop your personas, because there's a level to put your persona in the text. And yeah, I definitely did that. Siobhan Murphy's is going to be in there. So
I am not a typical, I think like realistically, this is my second game with Ren. This is probably like my second like kind of game period, really. And I had a blast with it. So it's great for experienced people, and great for people like me who have no clue what's going on.
Yeah, for the record, like I have never run this game before. And so even as someone who honestly hearing the players start to like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shred this vibe and I'm going to do these things. Like it definitely brings out the whole theme. And I think it's really, really fucking cool. Thank you all for being here. Thank you so much for all the love. We appreciate it. Let's go ahead and in reverse order now. Let's see if I can do this. We will go through and we'll do reintroductions again for those of you who may have missed at the beginning, starting with Mara, whose first time being on Dinner Game, and they absolutely crushed it. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Mara, pronouns they, she. I had the pleasure of being Kit McLean / Iggy Knight. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And next is Brittany.
I'm Brittany. I also use she, her pronouns. or I use she, her pronouns, not also. I'm tired. And I played Heather West and Ashley.
Thank you. KJ, you're up.
Hey, I'm KJ, Kelsey Joe. Unfortunately, my name is a JoJo reference. I had the privilege of being your resident disaster, Huey Milano, and his teenage dream, Buffy Marvelous.
Awesome. Last but not least, I know, Dice, you have a lot to talk about because you're in a million actual plays and a billion things. Tell everyone about all the cool shit you're up to. It's a whole list. It's pretty impressive, honestly.
I mean, I feel like between my Cyberpunk Red here every other Friday and the fact that Ren basically owns my soul in relationship to Dag now, and so many of my Saturdays. Those are the actual plays. More maybe to come on other channels, but who knows? So far, a lot of my time is tied up here, and I couldn't be happier. But the other thing I do is I make dice. I make the clickety clackities and also some squishies. And speaking of which, currently, Ray, I hope it's okay that I'm dropping this info, but right now on my site at fateandfortunedice.com, I already had a 30% off sale going on. However, until the end of July, 50% of all sales are going to PCRF. Additionally, there's going to be a pre-order coming up for some very specific red, white, black, and green colored squishy D20s. I'm going to be running the pre-order through July and hope to have those out by the beginning of September. So, and also, again, 50% of those sales will be going to PCRF.
It's an amazing cause. Thank you so much for doing that. And last but certainly not least, hello, folks. My name is Ren. My pronouns are they, them, and I am your resident DM here on Saturdays at Dinner and Game. The rhymes are getting longer. I'm getting the vibe. I'm feeling it. I want to thank you all for being here. We are going to be taking a short hiatus, and by it being very short, as we figure out what our schedule for next month is going to be. I'm going to be running more Nerdy City products. I am currently doing a Nerdy City RPG Nasty series called Tales from the Murderplex, where players will die at least once a month. I'm going to be running an Eldritch Automata one-shot as well, which is people getting in the robot and fighting terrible things. It's going to be dope. People are probably going to die on that one too. And last but most certainly not least, I'm going to be starting my first campaign here on Dinner and a Game pretty soon. You can find me as Wrenound on 90% of social medias. On Twitter, you can find me as Wrenound Gaming. You can also find me there on Start Playing. So if you want to start playing games with me, I am for hire. So hit me up, all right? I think we are prepping for a raid. So folks who are on other social medias, please, thank you all for being here. We appreciate you so much. And please remember, here at Dinner and a Game, we always save a seat at the table for you. It is the last, definitely the last day of Pride. And so I want to remind everyone that Pride is not just a month, it is a fucking lifestyle. We are just entering the month of gay wrath. And so we have so much shit to do. We have a whole month of excitement to do. And even like the funny thing is there's places all over the United States that actually have Pride Month on different months. Like the city of Rochester, New York has Pride in July because they had Pride before there was a Pride Month. And so they just do it for that month. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no. So like one, if you're in New York and you want another Pride parade, but also like
Go hang out in Rochester. It's fun there, honestly.
it is a good time. But the most important point is that Pride is whenever we feel it. And I hope that you folks take that into
all the time
next month as well, and forever. So I know we're going to be signing off from the other socials, and then we are going to raid somebody most likely. If that's happening, I'm not running tech, so
It should be.
I'm not the adult here. That's Ray's job.
We'll go away, and then Ray will take us somewhere.
So please stand by if you want to go and like hang out in some other communities. Go do the thing, meet some people, watch some other actual plays, but also probably get some sleep at some point. Speaking of which,
if you raid, go tell them the snake facts you learned today. Just drop that in the raid.
Yeah, and
tell them it's Hank Green's fault.
We'll also tell them to join Holomatics. Tell them to pledge the Holomatics. Get that done. But thank you all so much, and have a good night. We'll see you next time.
Bye.